Hello and welcome to the channel, everybody. In this video I'm talking about RAM, and particularly with Ryzen, and particularly with my second gen AMD Ryzen 2600, which I have with a Radeon 5700 8GB graphics card, 16GB of RAM, which up until now has been the Fury HyperX 2400 MHz RAM, which I initially bought for my first gen Ryzen 1200, because back in first gen Ryzen had issues with the RAM compatibility, and you didn't really want to run too much more than 2400 in the first days. Now I think you can run about 3000 or something with first gen and it's okay. Second gen are much better with RAM compatibility. Third gen are even better, and third gen tends to like higher frequency RAM even more. But second gen, I wanted to know if second gen really benefited from going from 2400 MHz RAM to 32. Is there any benefit in paying the extra money for 3200? Or if you've got 2400 like me from a previous build that you've just decided to whack in your Ryzen build, is it beneficial to get 3200 MHz? Now, to test this out, I had some RipjawsV's RAM sitting around, some 16GB that sits at 3200 MHz frequency, and so I whacked that in this computer and run some benchmarks against the benchmarks I did with the 2400 MHz RAM, and I noticed next to no difference whatsoever. Like literally sometimes even less frames per second with the 3200 MHz RAM compared to the 2400 MHz RAM. And so I'm like, that's weird. And before you ask, yes, I went into the BIOS and I changed everything and made sure it was sitting at 3200 MHz RAM and all that sort of stuff. It was sitting at the right frequency. I tried multiple different benchmarks, multiple different games, and it just wasn't really any different. And so I thought maybe it's the RAM, maybe my motherboard or something just doesn't like that particular 3200 MHz RAM. Just FYI, this motherboard I'm running is an MSI Gaming Pro Carbon X370 board that's running the latest firmware and everything on it. So no problems there. And the RAM was on the compatibility list for that particular motherboard as well. And then I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna go out and buy some more RAM and test this. Because I was really determined to get at least an extra 2 frames per second by changing to 32 MHz RAM. So I went and got what I thought might be the best RAM possibly for this. The G-Skill FlareX, designed for AMD Ryzen platforms. Special for, so I thought, hey, I reckon I might get a little bit more here. I might not get much more, but I might get a little bit more. So I put it in the system and ran 4 more benchmarks. I didn't run all the benchmarks because as I was running my first 4, they were completely identical again. And then I decided, you know what, I'm just going to scrap this video. It's not worth it. Not even worth me talking about. Literally 3 different RAM sticks at 2 different frequencies and no difference. Now, I'm not going to say that it's not going to make a difference for you. Because if you're running maybe a 3rd gen Ryzen 3800X or something like that, you know, there's probably going to be a bit of a difference there. But I think for an AMD Ryzen 2600 with a 5700 Radeon as the graphics card, it doesn't seem to be limiting with the 2400 MHz RAM at this stage. I reckon even if I change to a Ryzen 3600, I'd probably see a bit of a difference with 3200 MHz RAM. But with the 2600, I'm just not seeing any difference. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this video. If you want to like see some of my, I've got them up on the screen here. I'll show you, hold on. 77.48 on the 2400, 77.02 frames per second, 77.01, 96.11, 95.47, 95.79, 31.99, 31.18, 31.16. So yeah, I'm not lying to you. I did actually do all the benchmarking, and yeah, just no real difference. The FlareX RAM was, my light went off. Why did my light go off? Again, I just charged it. So yeah, I did all the tests with the original 3200 MHz RAM, and there was no difference with all my tests. And then when I went to use the FlareX RAM and compared it against the RipjawsVs, just no difference. So I just abandoned these FlareX RAM tests halfway through it. And I don't think it's particularly beneficial if you're running some of the lower end Ryzen stuff, particularly 2nd gen. Maybe 3rd gen will be better, but 2nd gen, I just thought, even though I was going to abandon this video and not give you the results, I just thought some of you out there might be in the same position as me and be wondering that, is it worth going to 3200 MHz RAM if you've already got some sitting there, that it may be 2400 MHz RAM or 2666. I would say probably hold off. I don't think you would need to upgrade your RAM. But if you're building like a new system and you're wondering what RAM to go, I would say get the 32. I mean, it's not really that much more money. Maybe you're wondering if FlareX will give you anything more than RipjawsVs or some other RAM. I'm going to say probably not. But hey, maybe FlareX is going to be more compatible than some other RAMs for your Ryzen. But I wouldn't pay significantly more for it. Get what's reasonable in price. Not cheap, but not expensive. Just a quick video, maybe a bit more subpar compared to my other one. But hey, might have helped a few people. Thanks for watching this video, everybody. Hit that like button if you liked it. Subscribe for more videos, and I will see you in the next video.